Explore the world of diversity at ZEE with ZEE's DEI Digest 2.0.
And it is officially time for episode 3 of ZEE's DEI Digest 2.0. We're in the midst of the second season of our wonderful series where we explore all things diversity, equity, and inclusion within the ZEE world. Hi everyone, Ahalya here, and you're joining me on another podcast. And please welcome Ashok Dhisle, Senior VP Quality, and Mrinalini Chowdhury, Director Product Loyalty Charter, to the show today. They're offering two very different perspectives when it comes to diversity, and I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting conversation, the final one actually, in our Celebrating You series. Hi both of you, how are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
I do want to quickly talk to both of you individually about your journeys within ZEE, because rumor has it this is also the first time you're really getting a chance to get to know each other. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, yes.
It is.
So Ashok, let me start with you. Tell us a little bit about your wonderful journey at ZEE. It's been a really long one. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So I have joined on the 24th September 1992. I have completing 30 years now.
Wow.
So whatever ZEE is completing, I have with ZEE only. We have started with the Worli office, very small office there with very limited staff in 1992. 1st October 1992, the channel is launched. Now I have working at Vikhroli office in operation department.
Okay, lovely. So it's been a long and fruitful, very rewarding journey as well. So big congratulations on that, Ashok.
Thank you.
And what about you, Mrinalini? Tell us a little bit about your time within the ZEE group.
So I lead the loyalty charter in the product team. What our main objectives are is basically to retain as many users as we can and just keep getting people coming back onto, let's say, ZEE5, and keep those loyalists coming back to us for months and months. And we do this by looking into multiple product initiatives. We have a cross-functional team that we work with to come up with these. We just want to keep bringing people back.
Wow, lovely. Keeping people happy is not easy, Mrinalini. So I think
I'm sure.
your job is very challenging. Absolutely. And I have to make a mention of this as well. Ashok, you've been primarily within the TV space, right? The television space. And as we've all been witness to, it has grown so much over the last couple of years. Has that been an exciting journey for you?
Yeah, definitely, because I have experienced linear era. I have seen the cellular films, magnetic tapes, and from that the transformation happened from linear to digital. So I have experienced from linear to digital all the way.
Okay, that's lovely. And Mrinalini, I might land you in a bit of trouble here, but I know you work with OTT, TV, everything now, given that you work with the product space. But tell me something, do you really miss the old linear TV days? Because I kind of do.
Yeah, it does happen, at times, because, I remember when I was a kid, I knew, okay, I have to be watching something at 8:30, because something would come out, and everything would be sort of based on that time of the day. But now, because everything is at your fingertips, you're like, okay, I'll just do it at some point. That kind of a schedule isn't there. That's something I miss.
every minute is that time of the day for us now.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been so nice getting to know both of you a little bit. Like I said, it's also your first time interacting with each other. So how about I open up the floor to your conversation? I hear that you both have some questions you'd like to ask each other. So over to you, Ashok. Mrinalini, please.
Yeah, hi Mrinalini. So tell me about your experience of coming out within the organization.
Well, I've honestly been out and about since the first day I kind of joined ZEE. I think even in my HR interview, I was like quite interested to know what were the D&I policies. I don't really come out per se, I'm always conversing with people on a daily. We are in meetings. So I don't really like to jump into work talk from the get-go. So I have these polite conversations, and bits and pieces of my personal life are mentioned here. So I'm guessing, people get to know me from that itself. And in terms of, the kind of experience that I had coming out, I've learned to never underestimate a person's ability to accept the other person's differences wholeheartedly. I must say the product team here, extremely supportive, extremely open-minded and inclusive. So I'm very happy to be a part of that team.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Ashok, I have a bunch of questions for you, and I'll just get started with it. I mean, what are some of the biggest differences in terms of culture from then when you joined to now?
That's quite interesting. When I joined, this is the first private satellite channel in India. So everybody is enthusiastic and everybody is learning that time. It's quite interesting, a great learning experience that time. The initial days, the transmission is only of 3 hours. So 7 to 10 is the transmission, and then it's gradually increased as the programming increased, and then it becomes 24 hours. And the transmission is happening from Hong Kong. So we have to literally send the program tapes from Mumbai to Hong Kong 1 week advance. Nowadays we are sending the programs within 1 hour, or sometimes we do live also, but that time we have to send the tapes 1 week before to Hong Kong. So it is quite interesting process, and the programming department, library, the legal department sits together. So we meet each and every person there. So nowadays we are sitting at different offices. So we are meeting after quite long time, sometimes not meeting regularly, but that time we are meeting regularly. We know each other, but that time that human touch is there, and nowadays that touch is missing. That's what I wanted to tell. Yeah.
So, Ashok, it's quite amazing how things have changed over the years. And yeah, we are working in completely different, offices. It's, I agree. The human touch is kind of missing.
Yeah, definitely. Mrinalini, what does diversity lend to team? What would your team look like without diversity?
Thank you for that question.
Yeah.
Let me start by saying that diversity, it brings about perspective. It brings various different sorts of perspective because of the experiences each person comes with, actually. And it's not really about, what color you have, which race you are from, sexuality or gender. It's just what you bring to the table, So the ability for people to be working with you, people who are very different from you, you are able to learn from each other. You sort of bring an open and very curious way of working where ideas are always taken. And it fosters, I would say, a very collaborative environment. And this, I would say, gives us the ability to look at problems from so many different worldviews, honestly. And you are able to look at the needs and preferences and any kind of knowledge and expertise that come into the picture. It helps you in a way to solve any problem, for that matter, to create great products. Diversity gives you perspective. That's what I believe in. And because of this diversity, you are in a space that allows for empathy. You are connecting with each other, connecting with people who are different from each other. You are able to encourage them, and it inculcates a sort of an environment where you are tolerant and there is acceptance. And who doesn't really need that? That's my answer for the first part of the question. And the second part, what would your team look like without diversity? Well, I believe that, again, it would be of a very simple, a single perspective, very monodirectional, I would say, short-sighted at some points. I know I'm about to say something extremely cliche, but with a team with no diversity, I mean, it's like having something black and white, You need all the colors of that rainbow to make something very beautiful.
Yeah, nicely said, Mrinalini. It's true, actually, about the diversity.
I'd like to ask you another question. Do you think that there is a misconception that young people have, when it comes to an older workforce?
What I think personally, that they hesitate to meet us actually because they think that we are maybe we will not behave correctly with them, or maybe we will slightly stricter in behavior. So it is not like that. If anybody come to us, or anybody want to ask any difficulties, or they want to take any information from us, we are always welcome. We will explain nicely to them, and they can take maximum out of us.
I agree. I mean, there's so much to learn from, let's say, from you, because you've been around for 30
30
years
years.
here.
Yeah.
It's invaluable.
Yeah. And what I think that younger generation nowadays, actually they sometimes didn't know about the basic things. So they only see like a video, but how that video is generated, how is the camera used, or how the image captured, or how the work done earlier, like how the recording is done on magnetic tape. They can take lot of information from us. There is no hesitation about that.
Well, Ashok, you're going to be getting a meeting invite from me very soon.
Nice. Thank you, Mrinalini. So, Mrinalini, I have one last question for you. So, what is your life experience brings to your professional life? Tell me about that.
Sure. Well, I have been working for about 13 years now. And I think before I started working, there were so many experiences that kind of taught me how to deal with people. So I believe that today I bring a inclusive leadership style. And I have like about 5 things that I always keep in mind in a professional environment. I like to create a very safe place for my team, and it could be for anything, sharing ideas or even a personal problem if they are facing, because I know how it is to feel unsafe. So that is something that I keep in mind, and that's the first thing for me, to make my team feel extremely safe. My second one is I need to listen to my team. I need to listen to people, because sometimes listening is just not about hearing the words that they are saying. It's also about reading their behavior, because there are moments when people don't actually say anything, but you know what they're feeling. And again, this is from my personal experience, because there were moments in life where you are not heard, whether it's in your personal life when you're coming out, or it's in a professional scene. So yeah, listening is the second very important thing that we should keep in mind. My third point would be something on the lines of I must be able to empower people to bring their whole and authentic self to work. Because if they are not able to do that, it kind of plays on their mental peace and happiness. And that makes a people unproductive. So to be productive, you have to have a certain level of mental peace. And to have mental peace, you should be able to bring who you are. It's not like you shed off a coat when you walk into office. You are who you are, and you should come in as who you are. And the fourth one is I totally believe that you need time for yourself, because you need to work on yourself. I have had to work on myself a lot to be confident about who I am. And for that, you need to have a really good work-life harmony. You need to take that weekend off, work on yourself, unwind, and come up with these experiences over the weekend and bring those new perspectives to your workplace. You immediately come as somebody who's more valuable. And the last one, not the least, but I believe in empathy. Developing empathy for others is core to who I am. And I like to try to walk in the shoes of others. And I do this by trying to educate myself about different cultures, about different groups. And this is how I try and make it an inclusive environment, because you need to ask people something about themselves. I mean, an organization can be very diverse, but it wouldn't be inclusive if you don't cater to everybody and what they value. So these are the 5 things that I'd like to keep in front of me, especially when I'm, let's say, handling my team. Yeah.
Yeah, nice thoughts about your team, and well said, Mrinalini.
Thank you. Right. So I have my last question for you, Ashok.
Yeah.
Gen Z and tech. What comes to your mind when I say these 2 things?
Yeah. So Gen Z is, I think, faster than us. So we are also updating daily. We are also learning new things here. So because we interact with many people in our technical meetings, so we interact with the new generation also. So we come to know what new equipments in the market. Bit slow, but we are there. So I don't think we are competing with Gen Z. So initially we are using a linear technology. Nowadays there is a digital technology transformation happened to digital technology. Every content is digitized nowadays, and what we have earlier stored in magnetic tapes is available in at one click on ZEE5 platform OTT. That is a great thing. So that is a greatness in nowadays, because in earlier days we have to play the content from magnetic tape. For that we require that particular VTR player.
Amazing how things have changed. I would love to hear about the entire evolution, because I think you have seen it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, what it was like to be a fly on the wall for this conversation, Ashok, Mrinalini. I think everyone will vouch for the same. It's been really great just, listening to both of you get to know each other, and you really have brought some very diverse perspectives to the forefront today. Thank you so very much for joining us on this edition of Zee's DEI Digest 2.0. It's been a fantastic close to, the series that we've had going on, which is celebrating you.
Thank you, Ayla. Thanks very much. It's a great conversation.
Thank you, Ayla. It was a great conversing with you, and Ashok. I have learned so much, and I will be learning so much from you, because you might be listening to me calling you in a while to understand, what the evolution has been.
Yes, sure, Mrinalini, sure.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Zee's DEI Digest. The second season is what we've got going on, but many more interesting conversations will join in very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that, folks. For now, this is Mia Halia signing off. I'll catch you in a while. Adios.
Explore the world of diversity at ZEE with Zee's DEI Digest 2.0.